Okay, so good evening everyone. Welcome to this daily Takkar PT series, basically known as the DTRS session. And today we have the class 115, and today we have selected the lead topic as the critical minerals. So we will study about it, that what basically it is critical minerals. Now before going towards the question, towards the PT question, first of all we will have some quotations which is going to be useful for your essay and the ethics paper, and also for your motivation purpose and for your which is going to be helpful in your life also. Okay, so first, so let us deal with this. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Now, very debatable thing it is there, because this idea is related to one individual who says that, who is comparing that something talent is which is very common is cheaper than table salt. Talent very much common, but we may agree and some may not agree that even after lots of education in our life, many of the person don't have talent. Okay, just rather they are rote learners. Now, what separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. Yes, definitely hard work is very much needed in life, but what is the usefulness of that hard work when you are not successful? So rather I would suggest that if we try to implement this as a UPSC candidates, we try to implement this in our life, basically there has to be a balance between hard work and you have to be successful also. Okay, so you can deal with this, you can write something positive points about this, then you can negate this statement also giving some kind of examples. Okay, so what I will basically go for is that yes, being a talented person is necessary, but at the same time you have to be successful in your life. Okay, that is the thing. Now let us move to the topics. So from critical minerals and going up to the green hydrogen policy. So we are going to cover these 10 topics. Now first question we are going to cover this. Okay, a critical mineral is any non-fuel mineral, element, substance or material that has a high risk of supply chain disruption and serves as an essential function in one or more energy technologies. So critical mineral, this is the one of the most important definition. Khanij Videsh India Limited is tasked to identify and acquire overseas mineral asset of critical and strategic nature. So far, India has not yet identified any critical mineral based on the specific priorities of national security and economic development. So what could be the correct answer for this? Yes, we have a list of critical mineral is there. Yes. So this statement is wrong because we are moving towards the nuclear energy, lots of economic requirements, security requirement is there, space technology is there. So we have to need it. For example, lithium. So it is one of the critical mineral. So we need to, so this statement is eliminated. Khanij Videsh India Limited is tasked to identify and acquire overseas mineral asset of the critical and strategic nature. Yes, it is basically a joint venture company. Okay, and under the 3 PSUs are there, and these 3 PSUs have formed this Khanij Videsh Limited, which are working under the Ministry of Mines. Okay, so this statement is correct. Now this is the standard definition of a critical mineral in any non-fuel mineral, substance, material that has a high risk of supply chain disruption. For example, if any country is having a particular strategic material or a critical material, if that thing is not given or international trade is stopped, then it will lead to a problem in some other country which is dependent upon that. So this is the correct definition or one of the standard definition of the critical mineral. So here what do we find? Only 2 statements are correct. So answer is option B. Okay. Now, and similarly you can see that how UPSC has asked a question related to rare earth metals. Okay, so in that context you should prepare also. Now government to invite bid for 20 critical mineral block in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so this is the context of the news. Now, second question. Consider the following statement regarding the APIDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority. It is a statutory body established under the Multi-State Cooperative Society Act. It comes under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. The authority has its headquarters in the New Delhi. So if we talk about that whether it is a statutory body, yes, it is a statutory body and it was established under the APIDA Act of 1984. Okay, it is a statutory body established under the APIDA Act of 1984. No, it doesn't comes under the Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmer Welfare. It basically comes from Ministry of Commerce. Okay, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Basically, it is for the export promotion, okay, of the food products. The authority has its headquarters in New Delhi. Yes, this statement is right. So first two statements are incorrect. Here we have the answer only as one. Now, many times I have told that whenever you get any government agency, any institution or any scheme, must visit its website. You need to always visit its website, and there is a section in the dashboard you will find that there is About Us. And in that About Us, you read about the vision, mission, statement, all these things related to how the body is formed, the governing members. So read about the APIDA. Just write this APIDA and you will, the first thing you will get in the web page is the APIDA and you will see that everything is there. Okay, so do cover this APIDA in detail also. Now, APIDA facilitates export of a first trial shipment of banana to the Netherlands via sea. This is the context, it was in news. Okay. Now, volcanoes often seen in the news and their locations. Kilauea, Dukuno, Mount Etna, Yasur and Santa Maria. So, can you tell me that what is the correct match? So, Mount Etna, basically we can say it is located in Italy. One of the most active volcanoes, a kind of stratovolcano it is. Okay, Santa Maria, it is located in Guatemala. This also is correctly matched. Kilauea, it is located in Hawaii. This is also correctly matched. Now, Dukuno, it is in Indonesia. And Yasur, it is in Vanuatu. Now, where is Vanuatu? Any idea? Basically, it is a small island country located in the Pacific, northeastern side of Australia. The exact location you will find with relation to that. So, here what do we find? Only 3 pairs are correctly matched. And all of these are the active volcanoes. Means there is a chance of eruption in the near future. Okay. And here the most prominent is the Mount Etna, that is the which is located in Italy. So the correct option is B. Now Mount Etna erupts. Why some volcanoes just keep sweeping lava? Most reason is that it is an active volcano. So here these are the things are there. The map. Study this where they are located. Okay. Now consider the following investment fund: hybrid fund, exchange traded fund and the index fund. How many of the above investment options are categorized as passive equity funds? Passive. So equity fund, basically they are of two types. One is the active and the another one is the passive. And this classification is based upon the role of the, any idea? Role of the financer. You can tell that. Role of the financer. So when the financer or when the promoter is playing an active role, then it is classified as a active equity fund. And when he is playing a passive role, means basically based upon the choices that how the stock market is functioning, you work upon that. So that is known as the passive equity fund. So hybrid fund, it is an active type of equity fund. exchange traded fund and the index fund, they are categorized under the passive equity fund. Remember this. Okay. So here what do we find? Only two options are correct. Okay. Now what are active and passive equity fund and how much inflows did they receive in the July? This is the context there. If you read this article, it will give you an in-depth understanding of this. And you should remember that it is related to your core economics concept also. Okay. With reference to SAS scheme, consider the following statement. It is an umbrella scheme under the Ministry of Education. The main objective of the scheme is to provide financial assistance to OBCs, SC and the ST for pursuing higher studies. So what could be the answer for this? So these two statements are contradictory to each other. That generally, not I am telling it is always, but generally when the Ministry of Education will bring out any program, it will be for the entire people. There will not be generally be a categorization will be there. Specific related program to directed towards any particular community, that will be by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So if it is saying that it is basically for the OBCs, SC and the STs, then it cannot be the Ministry of Education. So it is basically under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Remember that. So this statement is incorrect. Now the main objective of the scheme is to provide financial assistance to OBCs, SCs and STs. No, SCs and STs are not covered under it. OBCs and the economically backward castes are covered under this scheme. And basically it is for the higher education purpose, that the government will provide you some kind of, giving you allowances to study for, and here all of you need to keep this in mind, that although there can be one statement also added also, that which agency is the nodal agency for this, for the Shreyas scheme, and which is the nodal bank for that. So the government will, if you are pursuing your PhD, the government will give you some kind of monetary allowances. So which body will be there? So remember that UGC is the nodal agency. That although that the UGC falls under the Ministry of Education and not under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So remember, the nodal agency in this CS scheme is the UGC and the nodal bank is the Canara Bank. Remember that. So it generally what will happen, that the SBI you will think. Generally a tendency will be there because it is the most Sarkari bank. So you will try, and if it is given in the option, you will try to go with the SBI. So don't fall in that trap. Remember, the nodal body is the UGC and the nodal bank is the Canara Bank. Okay. So here what do we find? Both the statements are incorrect. Both statements. So answer is option D. So scholarship for higher education for young achievers scheme. This is the full form of this Shreyas for the OBC and others, economically backward classes. Okay. For OBCs and the EBCs. OBCs and the EBCs. Okay. Now, paragraph is there, you have to identify the personality. He spearheaded an Indian tribal mass movement in the early 19th century under the British colonization. He propagated the principles of Hindu religion. Okay. His struggle against exploitation and discrimination was against tribal, against the British government in the form of Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act passed in 1908. The act restricted the passing of land from the tribal people to the non-tribal. In recognition of his impact on the national movement, the state Jharkhand was created and the birth anniversary in 2000. His birth anniversary was declared Janjatiya Gaurav Divas by the central government in 2021. तो अब तो easy होना चाहिए. It is Birsa Munda basically. Okay. So ये तो अलग ही हो जा रहे हैं, अलग सीताराम राजू, भीम, तांत्या भील. So this is the only thing. अगर आप ज्योग्राफी के तौर पे देखोगे, you will correctly find it that the Chota Nagpur area related to Jharkhand So here the correct answer is the Birsa Munda. Recently he was in news. Basically for the cultural part, all of you should be must. Government ने आजकल किया हुआ है. If you are in the Instagram or in the WhatsApp channel, what you should be preferring is that you should be following the channel of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. That Instagram page is there. You definitely follow that. पिछले साल इसी साल जो 2 questions आए थे, 2 questions which were there in the history part which was related to your current affairs. That is the National Flag Code of India. And the second one was the handloom, जिसमें ये reason दिया गया था कि स्वदेशी movement कब किया गया था. Both that thing, the answer was available in the post which was given by the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav website. That answer was available. उससे पहले जो एक उससे भी पहले जो दिया गया था रामानुजम की फिलॉसफी के ऊपर एक क्वेश्चन आया था, जो स्टैच्यू बनाया गया था आंध्र प्रदेश में. That was also there in the post of the. So do follow the Instagram page of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. You will find it very much relevant, and many new informations are there. So do follow that page in the Instagram of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And when you find that something relevant is there, you just click the link and go towards the website and study that part also. Okay. So here the correct answer is option C. Okay, Birsa Munda Jayanti, PM Modi to launch this Jharkhand for the empowerment of tribals. This is the context. Now, recently seen in the news, Cryptodactylus variegaceus. Cryptodactylus variegaceus refers to species of gecko, frog, spider and a snake. Basically it is a species of gecko. Again, what is gecko? Yes, lizard type, and basically it has been recently been discovered in the state of Mizoram. Okay, recently it has been discovered in the state of Mizoram. So just remember about this species, where they are related to for your environment and ecology part. So scientists, researchers discovered new gecko species endemic to Mizoram, and 4 or 5 days prior to this we have studied one of the smallest species which was discovered in the Western Ghats. Okay, so remember that also. Yes, Western Ghat, and at that point of time I have also told that it is the northeast also. So you can be, so these are the 2 biodiversity hotspots where these gecko species are found. Okay, remember this. Now consider the following statement about the red sanders. Red sanders. It is endemic to the Eastern Ghats region of the Andhra Pradesh. The import of red sanders is prohibited while export is restricted. It falls under the endangered category of the IUCN Red List. It requires lot of sunlight and warm region for its growth. Any idea what is the correct answer? Okay. Okay, so here all the statements are correct. Now it is endemic to the Eastern Ghat region of the Andhra Pradesh. Now this statement is correct. What I want all of you to do is that basically some of the prominent hill regions are there. 4 hill regions and 5 districts are there exactly where these species are most found. 4 hill regions basically in the Andhra Pradesh, and 5 districts are there. Remember their name, do definitely remember their name. Okay, so the first statement is correct. The import of red sanders is prohibited while export is restricted. Yes, this statement is right. Basically it is for your beauty purpose, for your medicinal purpose it is there. So that is why this kind of restriction is there. Under the foreign import policy, all these restrictions are made. It falls under the endangered category. This is right. It requires a lot of sunlight and warm region for its growth. This is also correct. It cannot bear a frost type of environment. Okay, so here all 4 statements are correct. Now, to benefit from side decision to remove India from a review process. This is the context why it was there. Now, with reference to the Adaptation Gap Report, consider the following statement. It is published biannually by the UNEP. The latest report has highlighted the decreasing gulf between the adaptation finance requirement and its availability. So what is the correct answer for this? Whether it is published biannually and by the UNEP. So it is published annually. It is published annually by the United Nations Environment Program. So this statement is right? Incorrect? Yes. The latest report has highlighted the decreasing gulf. It means what the commitment has been made and what is actually being done. There is a synchronization between that. No. There is a increasing gulf is there. Okay. So basically the report is saying that what the developed countries have given their promises in order to limit down the global emission or to bring down the temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. There is a huge gap between achieving that target. Okay. So here what do we find? Both the statement are incorrect. So correct answer is option D. Okay. Now, little money being made available to developing nations for climate adaptation need at least 10 times more. This is the context. Okay. Now, consider the following statement. The green hydrogen policy is put forward by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Solid oxide electrolysis is the most efficient process in generating green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is the primary source for producing green ammonia. Any idea for this? What will be the correct answer? See, basically, how do we categorize anything as green? If in that process, first, the renewable energy is involved. And the second thing is that in that process of manufacturing or making that thing, carbon dioxide or any kind of greenhouse gases should not be emitted. These are the two criteria to classify anything as green. So the green hydrogen policy, yes, it is a part of Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. This statement is correct. Solid oxide electrolysis, no. Basically, the water electrolysis method is the most important method because that method does not generate any kind of, what can we say? It does not generate any kind of carbon dioxide or any kind of greenhouse gases. Only hydrogen and oxygen are the byproduct of the water electrolysis. In this solid oxide electrolysis, certain kind of thermal and electrical energy is needed in order to produce it. For this solid oxide electrolysis process, thermal and electrical energy is required. So it doesn't fulfill that one criteria of the using of the renewable energy. Okay. So here it is incorrect. Green hydrogen is the primary source for producing green ammonia. This statement is correct. Okay. So what do we find? Only two statements are correct and the answer is option B. Okay. So India's race to green hydrogen future, net zero future, with India announcing a suite of green hydrogen plants. Okay. So that's all for today's class. Again, we will meet tomorrow in the same time with same 10 questions of different nature. Okay. So thank you everyone.